Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Babas the Ancient. I'm here with Isaac Wilson. He's one of our DMs that we work with at the Danger Room here in Anderson, Indiana. It's just a local game store where we play Dungeons and Dragons, but Isaac has kind of stepped up and is running a new game called Obojima. And he's going to give us some insight on that game today. But first, Isaac, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been playing tabletop role-playing games?
Yeah, so I started tabletop roleplay in high school. I'm going to date myself here. Over 10 years ago now. And my first tabletop role-playing game was Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition.
Oh, very good. So I know you do that at the Danger Room. You're in our Dragonlance campaign. You also have a homebrew game going on that you've written yourself, right?
I do. Yeah, that's a brainchild that's about as old as my playtime in the game.
Really?
Yeah.
How long have you actually been playing it?
So this one has been running since we started the actual campaign about a year and a half.
Does it look like it's going to continue for 20, 30 years? Or
No. We don't want to run it that long. We're about halfway through the second part of 3.
Okay.
Yeah. We are looking at a sequel and a sequel, but right now we're contained in this little 3-part act.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. I know we've talked a little bit about it at the game store, so that was pretty interesting the way you have it set up. And
got a part of it right here.
Oh,
There's our world
that's
map,
right.
as you know.
Yeah.
That's an interesting detail.
Yes. So besides your home brew and Dungeons and Dragons at the store, what kind of games do you play other than that?
So aside from D&D, I've played a lot of Cthulhu. The Avatar tabletop game, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh yeah.
I played quite a bit of that. There's a Wushu inspired system called Righteous Blood, Ruthless Blades that I'm starting this Tuesday.
Now, is that a card game or is it like a Dungeons and Dragons type thing?
It's also tabletop. I think it's more theater of the mind oriented. We actually haven't played a single session of it yet, so we're all learning it this Tuesday coming up.
Oh, very good. Very good.
I'll tell
Where are
more
you
about
playing
that
that?
At the Danger Room, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's your Tuesday night game.
Yeah, we do a variety game, so we switch systems there all the time. We just played Never Stop Blowing Up the System.
Oh, really? Have you guys ever played Monster of the Week?
It's very similar. I think Never Stop Blowing Up the System, or no, I want to say Avatar Legends is based on the same system as Monster of the Week, where it's a 2d6 system, but we've never played the original.
I understand that's a pretty fun game. I haven't ever played it, but the idea of my Moonbeam channel is to really talk about the other games that are out there. And that's where this is going to wind up ultimately, is on my Moonbeam channel, because we have some people who are looking into other games for us.
Right.
So good deal. So let's talk about Obojima. What is it?
So Obojima is a setting and expansion for D&D 5e.
So it is a 5e.
Yes, it is 5e.
Okay. But it's a new setting. So it's kind of like Eberron or
Humblewood or anything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Now, it still uses the same rules as D&D, right?
Yeah, it's the sort of claim to fame there is that it's very heavily inspired by things like Studio Ghibli or Legend of Zelda. It's very whimsical in nature. Almost
the art is amazing.
Yeah,
the
it's
art
so
in
great.
those books is amazing.
So great.
I wish I could figure out how to do a green screen so I could show that, but I can't. I'm too dumb. I'm too old for that kind of stuff.
You can add it in post, slide in some art over the audio.
Yeah, right over my face. Right here. You won't be able to see anything but that. That's the way to do it. Now, how do you create characters in this, or are they already created for you?
So, just the same way as you would create your standard 5th edition or even 2024 D&D character, It's all the same rules. The only thing that they have added here is there are additional subclasses for the core classes. So there's a waxwork rogue, there is a cursed ranger, there's a barbarian path of the belly brewer. That's fun.
That would be me, belly brewer.
You can mix up potions in your belly and then spew them out.
Oh, okay, that's not what I was thinking. Not at all. Now, what about the creatures? Do they come up against the characters? Do they come up against like zombies and goblins and stuff like that?
So the setting being very much more a whimsical focus and being very inspired by Ghibli, you'll often find that your setting doesn't really encourage the characters to fight up against a bunch of zombies and skeletons and things like that. We ran the first module in there, and in that module, spoiler alert, the only combats really are against these little beetles that act as a small obstacle rather than a huge penultimate fight. There is this there is one nice fight at the end, but really it's all about trying to come together as a group and solve these problems. So there's a lot more puzzles and a lot less combat than you would see in the standard D&D module.
Okay, cool. So I know looking at the art, it's very fanciful, fantasy based.
Yeah.
So, is it hard to learn?
No, it's very. I mean, it's another game of D&D really. I think the hard part for players to wrap their mind around is that they can't punch their way to every solution. They're going to have to think and work as a team at times.
So a lot of role play involved?
Yes, very, very role play heavy.
Okay. And a lot of magic involved, isn't there?
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that. One of the cool things about this is that there are custom spells within the add-on. And a lot of these spells are stored on cassette tapes because, there's this whole idea of old technology. There's vending machines, old trucks, soda cans, and these cassette tapes that store special spells. All so interesting, and it all adds this sort of flavor to the add-on.
Well, it sounds like Obojima is a really unique game. One that you guys should probably take a look at, especially if you're looking for something that is 5e compatible, but maybe just a little different, something that's more role play than combat. Those types of games. A lot of it is, a lot of times you get into these games where there's just so much combat and it just takes over the game and you kind of lose your way. But Obojima sounds like a game that is going to be a much more role play heavy, but also just a lot more fun for those folks who aren't into combat. And I know that's a lot of us, but check it out if you have an opportunity. And it just came out of Kickstarter about a year ago. Google it. You can find all the information about it online, and take a look. Hope that kind of helps you get some information more about Obojima and how it's played. And unfortunately, Isaac's internet cut out on us there, but we'll get back with him. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat, the Obojima chat, and we'll take a look and get those answers for you. But looks like a pretty fun game. Hope you guys have a great week. You guys take care and stay safe out there.